I came to the Women's Care Center because of an addiction which started approximately 4 years ago. I started using pills because of a coping mechanism, and it was to cover feelings of a death that I just didn't want to deal with. And it was fear, and it was an isolation mechanism for me personally. And it was a moment where it was introduced to me, and it was at a time where it was a last resort, and I had just lost a very important person in my life. My best friend's dad had passed away, and he was like a father figure to me because my parents had been divorced basically my entire life. And so losing him was like losing my real father. And so having that key person taken from me I didn't know how to deal with it. Coming to the Women's Care Center was a choice that I had to make for myself, but I didn't want to make for myself. My family gave me the choice, but I ultimately had to be the one to make the decision, and it was really terrifying. And the morning that I decided to come, I actually had a plane ticket to go home to Delaware to be with my mom. My dad actually had come to my fiance's mother's house to pick me up to take me to the airport. And for some reason, I know it's God now, but at the time I didn't realize that. My heart changed, and I told him that I didn't want to go to the airport and I wanted to come to the Women's Care Center. And I'm very grateful for that fact now. Since I've been at the Women's Care Center, I've had to expose a lot of my hurts and my fears and my resentments that I've been holding on to. One of the biggest things that I've been able to let go of was my parents' divorce. And I realize now that holding on to that was completely irrational because I never knew their life married. And so holding on to that my whole entire life was completely irrational because I had no excuse to have that. Also, I was pregnant this past summer, and losing that baby was really hard. I had a miscarriage, and losing the baby was really difficult, and it's part of the reason why I actually relapsed, and it was one of the big reasons for coming here. And I was angry at God, and I can admit that before coming here, I hated God, and I'm not afraid to admit that anymore. But now I can honestly say that my whole entire relationship in God is strengthened, and I know that God did it out of love and compassion because I wasn't ready to be a mom then. And now God has that baby in his arms, and he's protecting that child, and that child's in heaven now. And what a better place for a kid to grow up and be. And I didn't understand that then, and I was so mad. But now, being at the Women's Care Center, I know that God took the child because I wasn't fit to be a mother, and I needed to go through that pain and the trial, and he did that for me out of love and compassion. If I could say anything to anybody that went through the same thing I did and the same addictions, I would say that coming to the Women's Care Center is not an easy decision, and it's scary, but if you can let down your pride and let God do the work and let somebody who knows what they're doing help you, let Miss Victoria and the people in this ministry help you, it will be the best decision that you've ever made in your whole life, because these people know what they're doing. And even though it doesn't make sense at times, and if you can just let your pride go and humble yourself enough to come to an understanding that you don't know best, and you never will know best, and if you can just let other people help you and see the God in these people, then you can get through it with their help.